Then I heard her clearly. I think I just stepped on someone's face.
Sorry, what?
That's not your go-to, is it?
I think I stepped on someone's face. A gnome, like ones what you put in your garden, like when they're fishing.
What other kind of gnome do you know? Something in my house perfectly mimicked my son's unique cry.
Oh, you ate mimics, don't you?
I ate son's cry. They all, at the same time, stopped walking and very slowly turned to face my car.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Real Spooky Stories, place where I tell your real spooky stories. If you would like to share your story, please email me on realspooky-storiespodcast@gmail.com. Okay, so this week we've got a little guest again, Amy.
Hi, everyone.
She's back.
I'm back. You can't get rid of me.
She hasn't been back since early January, and it's now February.
Wow, if you hate me, just say so, James.
Got to do a little shout out to the little mics Amy got, so if the sound's better than last time. I feel like Amy's voice was like in the background a bit last time. But it feels a bit better now, I think, anyway, I hope. We'll see. But yeah, Amy got me some little mics for Christmas, which if you've got me on TikTok, you would have seen. But yeah, this is the first time using them on the actual podcast, I think, so little shout out there. But yeah. Okay, so for this episode, I think I'm going to do, last time when you came on, I said I was going to try and scare you, and I tried to get stories, but I didn't read them properly. They weren't that scary, it was just weird. So this time I thought what I'd do was go on Reddit and go on the little subreddits that I use, and then I'm going to go on the top posts of all time and read you them.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'll start with, let's go on True Scary Stories, and
I'm going to close my eyes and try and visualise the story when
you've got to read them like you did last time.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go on top, and then shall I go on all time? Or this year? No, I'll go on all time.
Go on all time, yeah. Because I feel like this year we're only 2 months in, so.
Oh yeah. I think it'll probably be the past year, not like.
Oh, you meant like 2025.
Well, maybe.
It might be.
Okay, so the top one, so it's got 1,612 upvotes.
Okay.
So it's titled. Yeah, these are from True Scary Stories, by the way, and they'll all be linked below as always. So if you want to read the comments or anything, then you can. This one is titled, My Wife Stepped on Something in the Lake. The next day, they found a body.
What the hell? How funny would that be? That was you.
I don't think it'd be funny.
Yeah, but imagine.
No, it's probably barefoot as well. Let's touch that thing.
Filth.
It's not that long, it's only a little one.
Okay, let me close my eyes to visualise. Go on.
A few years ago, when my daughter was a toddler, my wife and I used to take her to a nearby lake to picnic, swim, and just unwind. It was a peaceful spot, quiet, not too crowded, the kind of place where you could easily forget about the world for a while. Oh, that sounds nice. One afternoon, after we finished eating, my wife decided to go for a quick swim while I stayed on the beach with our daughter. I watched her wade out into the water, the sun sparkling off the surface. A minute later, she suddenly stopped and turned to me, shouting something. At first, I couldn't make out what she said, but her expression was off. Then I heard her clearly. I think I just stepped on someone's face.
Sorry, what?
That's not your go-to, is it?
I think I stepped on someonene's face.
I feel like if you even felt a face underneath your foot, you wouldn't
You'd be like,
that's a face.
That's not
You'd
a
just
face.
be like, that's a weird fish or something. I froze for a second, thinking maybe she was joking, but then the look on her face wasn't playful. It was pale, almost terrified. She quickly started making her way back to the shore, her legs moving faster, like she couldn't get out the water fast enough. When she got back to me, she was visibly shaken. She said that while she was swimming, her foot brushed against something soft, and at first she thought it was a rock or a weird patch of seaweed. But when she pressed her foot down, she felt the unmistakable shape of a face beneath the water, a nose, an eye socket. She swore she felt the hollow of the eye. I considered going to check it out, but something stopped me. The unease in my gut, maybe we decided to pack up and leave right after that. The next day, the local news reported that a young boy who had been missing for days was found drowned in that same lake, not far from where we had been. He'd been there the whole time, just beneath the surface. To this day, my wife is convinced she stepped on his face.
What the hell?
So she doesn't actually know if she did step on his face.
If she did or not.
He's commented, this was the year 2000, a while ago. Yeah, she's fine, but I don't think she would have been fine if she'd reached down or have found the body or pulled it up or something. It's a small lake, almost a pond. The police said the body was not found where we, which was at the public swimming area, where we think they were either lying to avoid alarming the public or the body drifted. In hindsight, obviously, we should have reported. We were young and silly and allowed denial to creep in on the way home. That all went away with this news story.
Sorry, but if I was the police and someone rang up and said, I've just stepped on a dead body's face in the lake, I'd just button them. Wouldn't you?
You'd probably be like, oh, we'll go and check it out, guys. We'll go and check it out.
Yeah, you're
and
like that. Cheers for that.
Then they wouldn't check it out.
So, rating out of 10. It wasn't scary, but...
I think, like we say, it's not scary, but I've with these now, when we say, oh, that doesn't sound scary, I've been trying to put myself, if that was me.
Yeah, but... Yeah, fair enough. But
so if you were that woman and you felt a hollow of an eye and a nose, what you thought underneath...
I'd be like, that's a funny shaped rock.
And it's squashy, it's soft, like a face.
There's all kinds of stuff in the water though.
Alright, so if you... Go on, rate it then.
I don't think it'd scare me. And then if it came out on the news that there was a dead body found, I'd be like, wow, I stepped on that. But it wouldn't scare me.
Whoa, I stepped on that. That's hardcore.
Hardcore, dude.
You'd be going, I stepped on a body yesterday.
Guess what I done?
I stepped on a face yesterday.
I'll be screenshotting it.
Guess what I done yesterday? In the lake. I stepped on a face. Yeah, you'd be putting on your story like, I stepped on this.
Stepped on this face, XO.
Go on, 1 to 5, with 5 being dead scary.
Okay.
I'm going to say, for me, I'm going to say about a 3. Just put, if I was that girl.
A 1.
A 1?
A 2 then?
No, you can say 1 if you
want.
1. Alright then, a 1. By the way, the little flare for that is terrifying.
What's the flare? Oh.
You know where it says like the little thing?
No, it's not.
I know. Well, it is scary, I think. There's quite a few comments on that as well, by the way, so if you want to read the comments, read them, but because there's people saying like their own stories of what they found. Oh my god, people saying, oh, I'm not even reading them, you can read them.
What? No, I want to know.
Okay, someone just bought my cousin
My cousin
was surfing on a beach in Brazil, and all of a sudden he felt something heavy against his body while he's in the water. It was a human body in decomposition, no eyes, no nose, and teeth all showing because the lips were gone.
Cool.
No one's even been like, oh my god, someone just bought, I hope he reports it. Okay, well, there's loads of comments like this. There's bigger stories. He's commented saying, I totally understand why some of you are upset we didn't call the police right away. Blah, blah. Like, yeah, if you just read the comments if you want to read them, but I'm not going to read them all now. There's like over 100, so. Right, let's go on the next story on, we'll do it on this subreddit as well, and then I'll change the subreddit. Amy.
Go on. Okay.
Are you even listening?
I am listening.
Okay, this one is titled, Came Across an Incredibly Creepy Family a While Back.
Oh.
And the little flare says, glad you're alive.
Okay then.
Okay, I never really post anything on Reddit, mostly just reading, so please excuse me if I do or say anything that isn't common courtesy here. In around 2018, 2019, I, 25 female at the time, was 18 or 19 and living in Nebraska where I grew up. I lived in the largest city in Nebraska, but it was essentially surrounded by corn and wheat fields. The city was expanding, so rich folks started building huge houses with giant properties on the edge of town as things proceeded to grow. All of that being said, I had a good friend whose parents' house was one of those big ones, right on the blurring line between the fields and the city. My friends and I were constantly hanging out at his place because it was fun. They had tons of property to ride 4x4s on, a hot tub, a huge living room for us to watch sports, and have reality TV binge sessions, etc. Plus his parents were super cool, and we could drink out there as long as we stayed at the house. That sounds like one of those fake American houses.
I know.
I'm not telling you, really. They're just rich and they've got a pool, like someone dies in the pool.
I know. And then it's like pure hush hush because they were doing something illegal the whole time or something.
And they were all on drugs and drinking.
And they were all like 10.
Yeah, they're all like 14. Right. It was tons of fun, even though I am quite scared of the dark. So I would just not go outside after a certain time because there was little lighting and the nearest neighbour was about a mile away. I always felt a weird energy driving to and from his place if it was late at night, but never had anything happen until one night. The drive out there was a long winding two-way road that had thick trees on both sides, and and you pass one of the city's largest cemeteries on the way. Barely any lighting, of course, besides the street lamps every once in a while, and very little traffic. It's all inherently a bit creepy, and I'll admit to having sped through this section of road many times to get through it as quickly as possible.
Speeding ticket, get the police.
The specific night was perfect spring weather, so I was driving with my windows down, listening to music, and it was around 10 p.m. I was coming around one of the curves in the road when I had to essentially slam my brakes on. Right in front of me in the middle of the road, maybe 50 yards away, was what looked like a family. Again, picture a completely pitch black road with thick forest on both sides and only my headlights to show what's in front of me. This was a family of 3, maybe 4, a tall, slim woman, an average height/weight man, a child, short hair but couldn't tell her gender based on the clothing, I couldn't see their face, maybe around 8 years old, and the mother was pushing a stroller. Their clothes looked normal, not tattered but not nice. They also were not carrying any kind of light source, meaning before I arrived behind them in my car, they'd been walking in the pitch black. They were all facing away from me, walking completely silent in the middle of the street, the same direction I was heading. I had turned my music down to hear if they were speaking, had music playing, etc. They didn't. How far away was he
I know.
from these?
Maybe they just ate loads of carrots and you could see well in the dark.
50 yards away, it said.
50 yards is like me to you now. There's not a lot of space.
I know, so why are they still facing away from them? Like they were surely.
Did he just stop the car? I know, yeah.
To hear the noise of a car or see the lights behind them. The hairs on my arms immediately stood up. I came to a stop in the road behind them, obviously, and just sat there for a moment to let them move. They seemed to be completely unaffected by me and didn't even turn their heads slightly, nor did they attempt to move out of my way. I literally thought I was going insane or that I was dreaming. It was so surreal. Before I really had time to fully process and register what I was seeing and how truly strange it was, they all, at the same time, stopped walking and very slowly turned to face my car.
Yeah.
This scared the absolute shit out of me. I honestly didn't even give myself enough time to look at their faces as they turned. I immediately threw... I immediately threw up in my car. I immediately threw my car in reverse and sent it... I would have probably threw up in my car.
You would have.
I immediately threw my car in reverse and sent it backwards for probably a full 20 seconds before flipping a U-turn. Nearly rung myself off the road and booking it to the other direction. The only thing I remember noticing is that the stroller looked to be completely empty. This was the part what sticks with my mind the most. I've never felt terror like that in my life. I checked my rearview mirror probably 1,000 times before getting to the main road and never saw a glimpse of them. In fact, I never saw a glimpse of them ever again. I tried asking my friend and his family about it, only to essentially feel like I was insane because of the way they looked at me. Every time I tell this story, I get one of 3 reactions. They immediately think I'm cuckoo, think I'm lying, or have had something sort of similar happen to them. I really don't care if no one believes me, honestly. It was and still is the creepiest thing to ever happen to me. I think about it all the time. It was either some weird-ass family trying to scare someone, a distraction from an attempted robbery, assault, etc., or it was something more sinister. I'm going to tell myself for probably the rest of my life that was the first option. That's the end.
Well, this poor family's just trying to walk home after a night out.
With an empty stroller and
the street lights are on, and the baby was under the blanket. You don't know where it was.
How
and then
far away are they from anything?
I don't know.
From any, like...
Poor family's just trying to walk home and this person drives right up behind them. They're probably like, what the hell's that?
So are they going to the Friends?
Or... They were going to the Friends.
Yeah, it doesn't say how far away they were from, like, any civilization at this point. So, like, if that was me and I was going to be friends, I'd go to my friends and be like, come back with me.
I know.
And then, like, take them back in the car with me.
So were the people walking in the middle of the road so they couldn't get past? I'm confused.
Yeah, they were in the middle of the road, all facing the other way, and then they stopped to let them past us, whatever, and they didn't move, and then they all turned and looked at the same time. This person reversed the full 20 seconds.
Full 20 seconds.
It just feels like...
I don't know.
I don't feel like it's a distraction for an attempted robbery or assault. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah, people do that, though.
A pure family with a stroller?
Yeah. Literally anything. Like, they stop cars and go, like, I've got a flat tyre, can you help me? And then, like...
I know, but that's different than, like, just a family standing in the middle of the road.
I don't know. Could have been a
Imagine if
family.
They would have got out.
I probably wouldn't have drove away that quick. I would have stopped and stared at them and been like, move.
Yeah, you would.
I'd be beeping the horn like I'm trying to get past. But I don't know. I liked the part when they all turned around at the same time. That was fun. That was creepy. I'll give it a 2 for that one.
What's going to make it to a 5?
I don't know. If I'm sitting here tonight, we're in my room right now, everyone, If I'm sitting here tonight and I'm like, oh my god, I can't sleep, that's what I want.
Yeah,
Do
you're not going to do that till later, so you're never going to mark anything 5 ever.
But you know what I don't like? Kids standing at the end of your bed. Or
Right,
something on the ceiling.
I'll keep that in mind.
Something on the ceiling and you're trying to go to bed and something lurks.
Last time when you said the story about the girl floating above the girl, you were like, that's like a 2.
When? What was that one?
About the story about the girl who died in the house and she wanted to play.
Oh, she only wanted to play though, that's not scary.
But she didn't know she wanted to play. It
right,
doesn't matter if
I'm not being funny.
Girl above you, you're not going to be like, oh, she wants to play. She's floating above
I'd be like, whoa. But...
yeah, but...
okay.
You're never going to be 5.
Put them, a kid standing in my room at the end of my bed.
We'll see if we can find one then.
Do you know what scared me? That celebrity ghost stories or whatever, or my ghost story.
And it was with the girl on the bed and she shook her head.
Yeah, Ursula. It really freaked me out and I remembered it. That scared me. That's always scared me.
It was just a story on celebrity, or like our ghost story. We just watched loads of ghost stuff that was like when we were young.
I know.
As well. We literally just watched one, and one of the people were telling a story, and they said like a little ghost girl got on the bed and was like shaking her head in her face with her hair,
and that was terrifying.
She was just playing, I think. Or I don't know.
That's disgusting.
But then,
if you ever tried to play with me like that, I'd punch her.
Was called Ursula.
Yeah.
It just freaks me out.
It's terrifying. So if you find one like that, that's fine.
Okay.
And another one, what scared me, Aaron's dad's house.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Aaron's dad's house, that's scary.
Aaron's dad's house is terrifying on
Ghost Adventures
with Zach Bagans. Aaron is my favourite character. He's a real person, my favourite person in this series. And one time they went to his dad's house and it was like the stupid animations what they do to like say this is what Aaron's dad saw, like stuff like that. And they put Ursula, I'm saying, see, Ursula's in my mind. They put this little ghost like under the table and on top. And
he was like, oh, I looked up and I saw her in the corner on the top of the counter. And then we were like staring at the telly, and then I went, oh my god, she's on there. I'm like, you could see her on the top of the counter. Yeah. And then she was under the table, weren't she?
Yeah.
And she was like behind the wall, like behind something.
Obviously, it was just like what they've edited to be like, this is where they've seen
like
it. But it was terrifying.
But that was literally about 10 years ago.
And honestly, me and Jade were screaming watching it. Like, it was that scary. Obviously, Jade was obviously like, what,
26,
I'm saying.
10 years ago, it was about 2.
I know, it wasn't even that long ago.
No,
but like,
2, it was about, I reckon it's about 3 or 4. But
it was about 5 or 6, because I wasn't with Dan when we watched
it. We couldn't look at the telly.
It was so scary.
We both were covering our eyes.
And I was going, turn it off.
We couldn't find the remote to turn it off. And then we literally still haven't watched it
since. We've never been able to watch the episodes.
And I remember showing my mummy, and it was still as scary the second time round.
And my mum we
still never watched any further.
Yeah.
But it's like season 23 or something, I'm sure.
I'm going to find it.
For example, no, I found it. I can't remember exactly. But for example, say there's like, there's loads of seasons of Ghost Hunters, isn't there? Say there's like 25, but this is season 23. Yeah, Ghost Hunters. That's literally like the only season that went on, like whatever I've been watching on. Like
season 23, episode 5.
Yeah, but that's like
terrifying apparition of a little girl in a dark presence and neighbour claims is a witch.
Yeah, but like
it's honestly terrifying.
That season went on. Like, it literally had all the seasons except for, like, that one on the...
Yeah.
Because Amy comes around on a lunch sometimes to have lunch with me.
She lives around the corner from where I work.
But, I tried to get it and I can't get it.
It's not on anything.
Also, remember, if you've watched Ghost Adventures, you know that Zach Bagans always sends Aaron into, like, into, like,
and he used to send, like, Nick and stuff, didn't he?
No, but if there's, like, a scary, like,
literally it'll be like
room, like Aaron, you go in there.
It's like a house, and it's like the room where the murders took place, like where they like disembodied people and chop their heads off and stuff. And he goes, Aaron, you go in there. And we were like, oh my god,
sending Aaron in. He never goes in. And this one episode, me and Amy were like he literally was like, Aaron, go in. And me and Amy went, he always does that. We were proper like, we were proper going, you go in for a change, Zach, why don't you do it?
You
always send Aaron in. And literally Zach turned to the camera and was like, for all you guys saying that I always send Aaron. And we were like, oh my god,
I didn't even know what he said, because we were like,
It's like he heard us. He literally, like, we were going, Zach, and then like he literally turned to the camera like as if he was replying.
I know, and we were like, oh my god, maybe he can hear us.
Oh god. So you have that one or 2?
Yeah. I like the fact they all turn around at the same time. That's spooky. But the fact that they didn't stay long enough to see if they'd done anything, I don't think the pram was empty. Sorry, the stroller. I don't think that was empty. I think they just couldn't see that far. But I don't know. I liked that they all turned around. That's creepy.
Okay. Well, I've went on Paranormal Encounters, and I've gone on top of all time, but they're all like pictures. So I'm just gonna find a story. Here's the one of the top ones. There's literally, I've just had to scroll for ages. They're literally all like pictures and videos on the top. So this is Paranormal Encounters, is titled "Something in my house perfectly mimicked my son's unique cry."
Oh, you ate mimics, don't you?
I ate son's cry.
Fair enough.
Also, I feel like your son's cry is not that unique. It's just a cry. Alright, sorry. Yeah. Alright, sorry. People are slating your son.
I know, yeah, geez, alright.
Sorry.
You're getting reported by this mother in a minute.
Okay. Last year, met a girl, fell in love, got engaged.
Last year, met a girl, fell in love, got engaged. This is a rap song, sorry, what?
Yeah. It literally is written like that. Last year, met a girl, fell in love, and got engaged. She had 2 little girls who I loved dearly. We all moved into a house together October last year. Nothing too out of the ordinary happened. One morning, she comes to me and tells me she's pregnant. She tells me with the girls she got postpartum very badly and explained breastfeeding can make it worse. I said we can do formula for the baby. The added bonus of this being I can help her with nighttime feedings. It wouldn't be all on her. Fast forward, Amy, are you listening?
Yes.
Put your phone down.
Alright, sorry, Mum.
Just give me an hour.
You've got an hour.
Fast forward 10 months and the baby is here. We kept him in a bassinet.
Bassinet.
Oh. We kept him in a I thought it was a basement office. We kept him in a, what's it called?
Bassinet.
We kept him in a bassinet by the foot of our bed. When it's my fiance's turn to feed him, she prefers to bring him into our bed. I worry I may fall asleep, so during my turn, I take him downstairs and lay on a beanbag and watch TikToks while he eats.
Why is that relevant?
2025.
Ooh.
The girls' bedrooms are across the hall from our room. The baby has a very distinct cry he uses when he's actually hungry and doesn't want his pacifier back in his mouth. Pacifier.
Pacifier.
My fiance calls it his pterodactyl scream.
What the hell? Patrick. Imagine the baby was called Patrick.
Patrick said. Pterodactyl. One night last week, it was my turn to feed him.
Jacobo.
Your flag and get my glasses. One night last week, it was my turn to feed him around 3 a.m. I got up, made his bottle, and then took him downstairs. The dog and the cats all followed me.
How big's this house?
I usually let the dog out to use the bathroom. I changed the baby's diaper, then got comfy on the beanbag with the baby next to me.
Why is the beanbag relevant? Why is the beanbag? Yeah, carry on.
Bottle in one hand, TikTok in the other. I let him drink away. That was the whole TikTok. Oh my god.
He is a storyteller, this guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is.
Bottle in one hand, TikTok in the other. I let him drink away. He finished and fell asleep. What are you laughing at?
Just this guy's writing.
He finished and fell asleep. I wasn't quite done with the TikTok I was watching, so I sat up and put his pacifier in. About a minute later, I heard a pterodactyl cry come from upstairs. I was very confused and completely shocked. I just froze for a few seconds. I thought I must be really, really tired. Put TikTok away. Is TikTok a sponsor?
He's obsessed, yeah.
Put TikTok away, then look down
just
at my son.
Just say your phone.
I know. Put TikTok away, then look down at my son, and just as I was about to stand up, I hear the cry from upstairs again. There was no denying what I heard this time. I got my flashlight on my phone out and cautiously headed up the steps, trying to come up with a rational...
This lad, I love him. He's the storyteller. Is this Stephen King?
Trying to come up with a rational explanation, I thought I'm just hearing things that aren't there. Then I opened our bedroom door and my wife is sitting up, wide awake. I asked her if she heard that and she said yeah.
She said yeah.
I said it sounded like the baby, but what the fuck was that? Because I had a baby. And
you had the baby?
She suggested maybe one of the girls made the noise. I handed her the baby and we went to check on them both, sound asleep. Both the cats and our dog and our baby were all downstairs with me, so none of them made it.
Sorry, I'm not being funny. It was definitely one of the kids, because how often did we used to like play on the DS when my mum and dad would come up, we'd hide it under the pillow and pretend to be asleep.
3 a.m.
Like, yeah.
We didn't do it at 3 a.m.
Well, sorry, you speak for yourself.
We did. Oh yeah, I suppose. I was really freaked out at this point. I returned to our bedroom. My fiance was putting the baby in his bassinet.
Yes.
and laying down to go back to sleep. I whispered, "What was that?" And she just said, "Nope, we're not going to talk about it. Pretend it never happened." I fell asleep. It's been about a week now, no other noises at night, but I don't rest too easy knowing something is there.
It was definitely the fiancé having a go, wasn't it? Going, I reckon I can make that noise.
So that's the end of the story.
Oh.
Someone's commented here, funny story, not saying this is the case for you, but maybe a possibility. When my daughter was an infant and I was experiencing new mum exhaustion, I would repeatedly hear her distinct cry, go check on her, and she would be sound asleep. This would happen at least 2 to 3 times per week, maybe more. I just summed it up as my postpartum brain was making me hallucinate. Well, eventually one day I was sitting outside with the baby and I hear her cry, clear as day, but she was sitting right with me in her jumper, happy as content as can be. I looked up and around to see there was a mockingbird in the tree. This damn bird had learned my baby's cry and was the culprit of my hallucination.
Oh, yeah, a mockingbird?
Maybe they've got a parrot.
Oh my, well, they've got about 3 dogs, 2 cats,
I just feel
9
like,
chickens, you know.
I feel like it might be, yeah, like, you know, that thing, I can't remember what it's called, but when you're about to fall asleep and you hear, like, someone shouting you, but it's fake.
Yeah.
What's the thing called?
I don't know. I know what you mean, though.
It's got a name, hasn't it? But I feel like it might be that, because if you're, like, really tired, or if you've ever, like, went to doze off, and then you hear something shout and make sure.
Yeah.
I feel like it. I know he's saying he went tired because he was on TikTok. But I just feel like it was that. But also, if it weren't that, I would have went up to my wife and been like, where did that noise come from? Like, where did you hear it come from?
I would have went investigating the house. Because clearly,
would I, though, actually?
If he was downstairs and he heard it, and she was in a room and she heard it, which way is it coming from?
Yeah, someone else has put same here. It was worse when I was in the shower. Maybe it was because of the white noise of the water. Yeah, I just don't...
Oh, it's only called auditory hallucinations.
I really hope we don't have a mockingbird. There was one in my childhood home and he'd wake me up in the summer when the windows were open, making all sorts of noise at 5 a.m. Well, mate, it's a mockingbird or a mimic.
I know.
So
I prefer a mockingbird rather than a mimic.
Choose, you know.
We had a rooster waking us up. Remember?
What?
In Hale. What? Sorry, you don't remember that rooster, the cockerel? In Hale.
Oh, pheasant.
Yeah.
A rooster.
No, the one from next door. The one that says cock-a-doodle-doo in the morning at like 4 a.m.
Oh, a fake one?
No, a real one.
A real rooster next door?
Yeah. In Hale.
No.
Yes. Jade, shut up. Are you messing? Yeah.
Don't remember a rooster.
There was a rooster. And it was where my room was. If you looked out the window, there was the gap. No, there was the gap because nothing was built there yet. And then there was a house there. And they had a little, like a brown hut thing. And it had a cockerel on the top. And I'm pretty sure that's where it lived.
I don't remember.
And it said cock-a-doodle-doo and woke everyone up in the morning. Your room was at the front. You were probably well away. Couldn't hear it.
I don't remember that.
Anyway, we had a rooster.
Okay, well, we don't have a rooster anymore, so.
We did. It's probably dead now.
This one is the second one. Do you want this one or not? I don't even know how to say this, but I think I saw a gnome in a national forest yesterday. Yeah, let's read it.
A gnome?
Or do you want to read the gnome?
A gnome, like, one's what you put in your garden, like when they're fishing.
What other kind of gnome do you know?
I don't know if it's a name for like a spooky thing.
Yeah, gnome, probably.
Go on then. We didn't rate the mimic.
Oh yeah, go on, rate the mimic. Rate the mockingbird.
Rate the kids playing.
I'm not scared of that one.
No.
I'm going to do you and give it a 1.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Mimics don't...
Are you giving it a 1?
Yeah. I can't keep giving them 1s though, because you give me dirty looks when I do it.
Yeah, but that was just a mockingbird.
That was just the kids playing.
Pterodactyl scream.
And then he thought, oh, what was that like?
I feel like all kids... have that scream.
I know. You literally sound like that every day. Even now, when you're like nearly 30.
I sound like that?
Yeah.
I'm not nearly 30.
You are. How old are you?
27.
There you go. Nearly 30.
That's ages away.
You are literally nearly 30.
In 3 years. A lot can happen in that time.
2 years and a bit.
Yeah, right. Shall I read this gnome one or not?
Yeah, let's read the gnome one and let's see what this is giving us.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna fix my mic.
I'll fix my mic. I'll be the first to admit I thought these types of cryptids were a joke and not real, and I've never been able to take them seriously. I'm an outdoorsman and have been for 35 years. I grew up in the woods. I memorised trees for mushroom hunting for a living. I know every buck, steam, bush, berrygrove, log, you name it.
Wow, what a guy.
I'm on a forest road and I'm on a 9-hour...
A 9-hour hike?
I'm on a forest road and I'm on hour 9 of not a soul in sight. Wow,
Excuse me?
Hard to say. Hour 9 of not a soul in sight. I gather some mushrooms and look up the road and see a rock has fallen from the loose, steep side of the mountain to the middle of the road. I make a mental note that I have to move it and not drive over it. I gather my mushrooms and get back to the car. I look up and I see what appears to be a 2 or 2.5 foot tall little brown thing.
Tall little.
Walking from the side of the road over to the rock. My first logical thought
Oh, like a moving gnome. I thought you meant like a statue. Sorry, go on.
My first logical thought is that it's a squirrel, but I see it walking on 2 legs, appears to be wearing brown cloth or fur clothes, and is shaped like human but very tiny. It's not scurrying either, it is ambling on 2 legs like a human would, just casually walking like this is some normal, regular ass thing, like monotonous work it does for a living.
That means boring.
I don't believe my lying eyes. It has to be something else. I get back in the car and head up the road and see that the rock has been pushed back to the side of the road from whence it came. I had fallen off the hill. I know.
They fell off the hill? No wonder they're seeing gnomes.
It's all the mushrooms gathered. It had fallen off the hill, rolled to my left, then was sitting back on the other side of the road on the right. There are drag marks like something slid it back. I look, I smell, I sense, I listen. Nothing.
Is this Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead?
I don't know where gnomes live, but the old partially log section where I was looked pretty perfect for a clan of these things.
A clan?
Do you know that a group of gnomes is called a clan?
Is it? Oh!
This guy says it is, so it must be.
Oh.
Lots of places to hide, secluded, near water, plenty of routes of escape, and will be easier to dig little holes in the mountain and be fortified against invaders. This guy sounds like he knows a lot about gnomes.
I know. He's definitely like a gnome fanatic, isn't he?
The side road into it was flooded and appears to do so regularly, so these little guys can even have their own moat. I'm positive I'm overthinking this. It was a long drive back up the mountain, then down the mountain the other way, and sometime home, and I can't pick this apart into anything else but being a tiny little forest man. I'm like 1,000% positive that I saw what I saw. It was near a military special interest zone, allegedly blocked off due to some native butterflies, but I'm starting to wonder if this research area is really about butterflies at all. They send you to prison, ban you from parks, and give you a $5,000 fine if you take a single berry from inside that boundary.
Really? Ewa?
You want to go?
Yeah.
I just feel like if it was blocked off, that's in the story, by the way.
Oh.
I feel like if it was blocked off and this was a little gnome coming out to move the rock, they wouldn't, if it was blocked off and they give you a $5,000 fine, they wouldn't just let a little gnome come out and
I know, I think it'd be a bit more high-tech protection.
They would have a normal human do it.
Would they? Yeah, but maybe the gnome was like sick and tired of being locked away and he wanted to go out for life.
And like the way you just said he was walking, I was picturing, Romeo and Juliet. Like just the way they walk. Like I was just picturing that.
Well, I was picturing, on Elf when he's walking through Central Park and he gets caught on the video.
Like Bigfoot.
And he's like walking like Bigfoot. That's what I was imagining, but like
yeah, but he was
small,
just walking normal and slow, not like
pure jolly.
Someone's commented, check out the Modern Fairy Sightings podcast. You're far from alone in this experience.
Oh. When you said it's about a gnome, I thought you meant like a little garden statue. And like, I was confused because I was like, so someone just put I was like, someone just put a statue there and he's seen it and he's freaking out.
Also, this guy was collecting a lot of mushrooms, so I'm a bit skeptic of what you saw.
Yeah.
Also, you've said it was a long time up to the bottom and back up to the top of the mountain where you were, so maybe just someone else moved it.
Mm.
But at the end of the day, you still saw a little man wearing brown fur.
A little man.
A little man!
He's a very small man.
There's loads of comments on this saying loads of stuff. So
oh wow!
It's just a bit too technical about gnomes, and I'm not that interested. So now, if you want to read, it's linked below. So have a little read, but I'm not going to read them now.
Wow!
I think we've done 4 stories, so we'll do 1 more.
Okay.
So we can either do it from Glitch in the Matrix. We can do creepy encounters, but that's not like paranormally. That could be like a person.
I like creepy encounters, but if it's an alien, I'm not interested.
No, but it's just be like they get followed by a person.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I like that.
Okay, but
I mean, I don't like that.
You like getting followed?
I don't condone it. I follow people.
Right,
no, I don't condone it. I just like hearing
top all time. Right, so here's one of the top ones. It's called Make Sure to Always Lock Your Doors.
Go on then, I'll have that. I'll have
And
that.
it's got 8,400 upvotes and
Yeah.
277 comments.
Yeah, I want to know why I should always lock my doors.
23-year-old guy here. I live in a pretty safe neighbourhood. Are you a guy?
I mean, but I'm 23. I wrote the story. I'm the guy.
I'm 23.
I'm 23. Oh.
23-year-old guy here. I live in a pretty safe neighbourhood and usually always lock my doors. Last night, I apparently didn't.
Ooh.
It was not too long after I had taken my dogs out for the last time and was turning off the TV and the lights when one of my dogs started growling.
Ooh.
Not too weird, since he sometimes does that when people walk by the house. He only does it to certain people, not everyone.
Toby used to do it to us, like, constantly.
Yeah. I then heard the front door open and someone walk in. My dog... that's weird.
Walk into your house. Creepy.
My dog then started barking. Oh, this makes me feel weird.
I like it. Carry
my
on.
dog then started barking. My other dog, who loves all people, came running from the other room to greet our guest. At the same time... Oh, this makes me actually feel weird.
I like it.
At the same time, I was reacting to what was happening and went, what the fuck, who are you? Standing in the hall was a guy in his mid to late 20s. He was skinny and tall. Oh wait, I don't think I'm in the right place. He genuinely seemed confused. I replied with, hell no you aren't, please get out. He apologised and said he was coming to hang out with a friend and just accidentally went to the wrong place. I asked him what house he was looking for and he said a number that was just a couple of numbers off mine. He apologised again and left. He seemed nice and non-threatening, but I was still kind of spooked. This morning I was ready to laugh the whole thing off. I was planning on telling my neighbour, a couple in their 30s, what happened. I don't know them all too well, but we have talked before. Luckily I caught one of them when I was walking my dogs out. I didn't want to come off like I was mad or scared over what happened, so I casually said, I'm sure he told you about it, but your friend paid me a surprise visit last night. My neighbour gave me this confused look and said, what are you talking about? Your friend, he walked into my house last night thinking it was your place. My neighbour was quiet for a second and said, I don't want to alarm you, but I have no idea what you're talking about. We didn't have a friend over last night.
Oh, spooky.
That's the end.
I thought this was going to be a bit scarier.
There's, I know, I was scared reading the start, but they weren't that bad in the end. My friend, someone's commented, my friend did this once, accidentally forgot to lock the door, and it resulted in a weird, scary night. Both her and her 3 kids were sick, so they were sleeping downstairs in the living room. Her husband was upstairs in an attempt to avoid getting sick. Anyway, she said all of a sudden she felt someone crawl onto the air mattress and lay down next to her.
Yeah, read that, I like that.
After a second or two, she realised it was a stranger and began to scream and go towards her kids.
What the fuck?
The guy got up, shirtless if memory serves, and began apologising like crazy. Her husband flew down the stairs and had hands on the guy within seconds. Turns out he was coming home from Summerfest, a music festival.
And was he drunk?
And was very, very intoxicated and terrified. She said he wasn't a big guy and really did seem genuinely lost.
I like that.
He explained that he is very drunk and his friend's house must be a house or two down and he's not a killer. Sounds like something a killer would say.
I know.
He apologised to the kids for scaring them and to my friend again.
Your friend?
Oh, the story's about the friend.
Oh.
Then said he was gay and would never harm anyone and please not call the cops. He was really embarrassed. They didn't call the cops and the guy left. Can you imagine someone crawling in bed with you? Haha, lock your doors, folks.
That's actually, I like that. I mean, it is scary, but I like it's
just
funny.
Crawling on the bed.
I know.
I would just think it was my husband and being like, oh, I came down. So.
I would absolutely not think that.
Someone's commented, Robert Downey Jr. actually did this back in his party days. He got so wasted that he went to the wrong house and crawled into the bed of a lady's 11-year-old son. When she went in to check on her son and found him, he was completely passed out and wouldn't wake up, so she had to call the law and say actor Robert Downey Jr. was unconscious in his son's bed and he'd come in uninvited. He did have to courtesy to fold his clothes before getting in bed. What?
I feel like I heard that about him, you know?
I haven't.
I feel like I've heard something along them lines.
Do.
I know.
Someone's put, he's gay, so that means he would never harm someone. No, they've put, like, that's not what they meant.
No.
He was just trying to say, like...
I'm not trying to come on to you.
Yeah. Aw. Okay, well, that's the end of the episode. Also, you know, I've just remembered, last time you were on the episode, you said you were going to find stories. Also, it was a bit spontaneous, this episode, to be honest. I just came from my dad's birthday and was like, let's record one now.
She just threw a mic at me.
I just threw a microphone and said, put this on.
Get this on now.
Yeah, so,
next time I'm invited on, I will. Okay.
But yeah, you can come on at 1 of March.
Oh, thanks.
And also April, we're going to Edinburgh.
We are.
I've got Edinburgh stories.
Oh my god, are we going to do it in Edinburgh?
Do you want to do it in Edinburgh? My mum listened to one of the podcasts the other day and was like, I couldn't listen because you two were laughing.
I know, she probably shouted
I know, and then she went,
like,
it's supposed to be serious. And I said, it's not.
It's not, yeah, it's not that
It's not that vibe on here, alright?
It's not that deep, it's fine.
It's not that vibe on here, I just want to have a laugh, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Who better than the funniest
person? Me. And
no,
you.
Me. Me.
I know who you meant. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. Thanks, Amy, for being a little guest again.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
If there's any specific topics you want to hear, just let me know.
Or if you've got any stories yourself that you want us to cover in,
Yeah, if you've got any spooky stories, don't have to be paranormal, like they can be like these creepy encounters about real people. Or just whatever, you know, just send them.
If any listeners have got one which they think will scare me, send it in.
Yeah, because we need to give Amy some sleepless nights.
Yeah, let's do it.
If anyone knows Ursula, get her on the...
I don't want Ursula.
Hope you have a bad dream.
I think I will.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Thanks, Jade.
Okay, thanks so much for listening. Thanks for joining us again, Amy.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you next Sunday at 12 p.m. and we'll see Amy again in March.
Yay, next month.
Thanks so much for listening. Bye, huns.
Bye.
Bye.